Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of the NASCAR Heat 5 career mode. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we go racing here at Bristol Motor Speedway for both the Xfinity Series as well as the Cup Series. No Truck Series race in this episode, so just the two series between Xfinity and Cup, where I decided to run in both the Xfinity Series is of course the Cup race, but this will be our second Xfinity Series race of the season. The first one we actually managed to pull off a victory, so hopefully we can do that again here like we did in Atlanta, because we were able to pull off the sweep in Atlanta with an Xfinity win and a Cup win, and we come to Bristol every time expecting to run up front. Last time we came to this racetrack here in the Cup Series, we pulled off the victory with our second win of our rookie season in the middle of the playoffs. We look to continue that strength over into this Bristol race once again here today. Now as we dive down into turn 3, it was Riley Herbst and Justin Allgaier on the front row now as we come through down this front straightaway, so we were already up inside the top 5, and as the laps came through, we would actually pass the 9 of Noah Gragson after making a little bit of contact with him, and then we would also run down now the 18 of Riley Herbst. As this run went on, the pole sitter would drop down to P3 and now P4 as I would make a pass on him, so it became a battle between Justin Allgaier as well as Austin Cindric for that race victory here as we came through clearing Riley Herbst, and then we came straight through to the final lap, and I had absolutely nothing to run down the drivers up ahead of like Justin Allgaier, who drove away with the victory, and then I would try my best to run down the 22 of Austin Cindric, but it wouldn't quite be enough, so we came through turn 3 and out of turns 4, and we would come through to cross the line to finish in the 3rd position here in Bristol Motor Speedway for the Cheddar's 300. So not a bad result, but I was hoping for a little bit better considering how good our track record is at a track like Bristol Motor Speedway. But of course, the main one that we want to run well is in the Cup race, which is just coming up here in just a few moments as you see the rest of the finishing order on your screen. But now it is time to go into the Cup Series weekend here at Bristol as well, and hopefully we can back up a strong Xfinity run with a good Cup Series run, and hopefully even better with a victory here today. So we come through into qualifying for Bristol with the Reese's paint scheme on the car. I think this is the first time we may have run it this season, if I'm not mistaken. So we come through to start our qualifying lap with the goal of a 15.775. Pretty confident we can get close to that goal now as we go down this backstretch. Everything that we do at this track is always just really good. We qualify well, we race well, and we come through out of turns 4, backing up that statement with a solid qualifying effort here with a 15.720. And in the top 10, we qualify P7 here for the Food City 500 at Bristol Motor Speedway, so we definitely have a strong car, but our teammates are even stronger as Hamlin on the pole, joined by Kyle Busch, and then Truex, our other teammate there in P6 as you see the rest of the qualifying effort now. Alex Bowman all the way down there in P31, not a good result for him. Gragson, a rookie, in 35th. Bubba Wallace in 36th. So some rough qualifying efforts for drivers like those guys now. But so looking forward to this race. I love that it is now a playoff race because it's almost like a guaranteed opportunity for us to get to victory lane, and hopefully we can get win number 2 though on the season here today now in the Food City 500. So we're going to go through the stories of the race where you see Chase Elliott. He actually managed to fail technical inspection, so very unfortunate for him. And then Chase Briscoe failed pre-race inspection, the rookie there for Stewart Haas Racing, and Ryan Preece had an engine change after qualifying. So Elliott, Briscoe, and Preece all sent to the back of the field for this race here in the Food City 500 now. So we're going to move up one position and get ready to take the green flag here from the 6th starting spot as Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch lead the way to the green flag, which is now underway. Now Keselowski and Benedetto just in front of us here as we dive down toward turns 1 on this opening lap here in the Food City 500. Martin Truex Jr. up my inside. There you see Ross Chastain, his first season in that 42 car for Chip Ganassi Racing in the career mode. He had a strong start to the season, but now he's kind of been having some issues, some bad luck here in the career mode that has put him outside of the playoffs. Still very early in the season, so plenty of time for him to claw his way back towards a playoff spot, but it's not terribly long either until we really start to look at that playoff picture and how things are going to shake out. Now, of course, we are already locked into the playoffs with that win at Atlanta Motor Speedway a few races ago. Now as we're side by side with the 21 of Matt DiBenedetto with 28 laps to go. So we come through now on lap 7 though. I'll get up the inside of Kyle Busch. Laps fly by so fast at this racetrack. There's Ross Chastain getting aggressive, trying to make a 3 wide between Keselowski and DiBenedetto there, but it does not quite work for me. Checked up, and then I get clear of Kyle Busch, who qualified second. We get up the inside now of Chastain down the front stretch into turn 1 with 23 laps to go in this first stage, and we're going to try to now move into the top 5 as Hamlin, he tries to drive away early on with a potential stage victory. Of course, he won the Daytona 500 earlier this season, but now he has 2 wins total as we would clear Chastain, and then we actually made a little bit of contact with Keselowski, so he pushes up the track. We clear him, though, for P4 as he's going to try and fight back down the exit of the corner as I get loose there with 21 to go, but we we hang on to that spot. Then I get stuck behind Martin Truex Jr., not anticipating him taking my lane. So now that allows Kyle Busch and other drivers to get up the inside like Ross Chastain. There's now all of a sudden I am stuck behind Martin Truex Jr. here down this backstretch into turn 3, and it would just continue on here as I just had nowhere to go. I could have forced it maybe 3 wide up the middle, but I didn't see a need to be ultra aggressive like that here on just lap 12 of the race. So we dive down into the corner, just kind of just holding on, just waiting for an opportunity to get down to that bottom lane. It's Kevin Harvick. He's going to drive by there on the inside. We make a little bit of contact though with Kevin Harvick. He's sideways. He hangs onto it now, but there he goes again sideways out of 4, but he saves it again as we dive down into turn 1. Then he loses it again and gets into Truex, so 3 wide in front of us between Custer, Harvick, and Truex. Now Truex hits the outside wall, but somehow we all keep it going as we dive down into the corner. Thank goodness nothing bad came out of that one now, as I would finally get fed up with waiting for Martin Truex Jr. I go to the outside of him. We make a little bit of contact there in a 3 wide scenario. He slides up the track nearly into the side of me, but thankfully we do not actually make contact through the center of the corner. So we are now back up to P11, and immediately I dive down to the inside here of the 43 of Kyle Larson. Some news coming up on him soon in this career mode as we come through running P10 with now 15 laps to go. As we have problems though. Joey Logano is stopped on the racetrack into the outside wall. De Benedetto, Kyle Busch going by. De Benedetto actually gets a piece of it, and Keselowski, he doesn't know where to go. Logano's actually causing a roadblock as we're now rolling in on the situation. Caution comes out, of course. I do not know exactly what caused that, maybe a tire failure, but now we just drive right into the side of Logano because the AI like to do that sometimes, but we would stay out, and obviously that damage that we just picked up is not actually going to affect our car because it was after the caution came out. So now we can kind of get to hit the reset button here for this restart. Now it will be 11 laps to go in the first and opening stage in Bristol Motor Speedway, and you can see some of the other drivers that ran into Joey Logano do not take off at all there as I get into the back of the 88 of Erik Jones as they were just so slow through the center of the corner. So I tried to get down to that bottom, maybe I was thinking, but I decided, you know what, we are so fast on that top lane that I'm going to at least try it on this restart now as we go down this front straightaway. Jones and Truex side by side, but I decided to finally drop down here to the bottom, and then I get into the back of Truex there as they're just so slow through the center of the corner. Truex saves it, but just all my fault on that one as we dive down into turn 3. Kyle Busch takes the lead away from Denny Hamlin here as we go down this front stretch, still side by side between Jones and Truex, but it finally would settle out to where I could follow Truex to get past Erik Jones, and then we would pass Kevin Harvick as well, make a 3 wide with Ross Chastain as well as Tyler Reddick getting a little bit aggressive here, and then we would be able to pass Chastain, who had a bit of a moment behind us as well. So now up into P8 as we would carry this momentum right to the inside of the 8, the RCR driver of Tyler Reddick, who's having a very solid day to start this race here in Bristol. As I try the slide job in front of him, and it makes it work, and then I go now up the outside of Martin Truex Jr., approaching just 4 laps to go now here in stage 1, and we blow right on by Truex there, as that was an easy pass with 4 laps to go on the stage, and we come through now to approaching the final lap of stage 1. Kyle Busch in front of everybody now as he's got Keselowski in second, trying to put the pressure on him. De Benedetto having a very solid run up there in P3, Hamlin 4th, Custer 5th, and myself here in P6 trying to run them down. Of course, not enough time as we dive down through turn 3 and 4 for the final time here in stage 1. We're going to come through to cross the line for P6 in the first and opening stage. So definitely a solid effort here in stage 1. We know we have some strong speed in the car, so I was looking forward to getting going for this second stage here in Bristol. Definitely better than a 6th place car, guys. I think we got speed that can win this thing. There you heard my radio transmission, maybe a little bit overconfident from myself there, saying I think we can win this race, but you know, we won this race last time out in the playoffs in the Bristol night race, so I'm hoping that we can back that statement up right there on the radio with the performance here today. Now, as we actually gain a spot on the pit lane, Michael McDowell stays out. Kyle Busch not even in the top 10 after winning stage 1, so a terrible pit stop for them now as Michael McDowell and Brad Keselowski will lead the way to the green flag here. It'll be 28 laps in the second stage. Kyle Larson on my outside in the last episode. Larson did not have a good effort at all in the career mode race, so it was very unfortunate for him, but he's of course still having a solid start to the season, so he very well could be a playoff contender here in the career mode, which is still a surprise to me now as we go down this back straightaway or front straightaway, coming through down into the corner there. As you see, Hamlin plows right on through the 34 of Michael McDowell. A little bit of contact between them two, and that allows me to move up into the 4th position in front of Tyler Reddick, who's following me through as well. As you see, Cole Custer now under attack from Denny Hamlin for that 2nd position. Keselowski out front now as we came through on the lap 5. Reddick would actually get to my inside, and similar to the Truex situation, Custer takes my lane away on the top, and I get stuck right behind him. So now we're going to have to wait for Tyler Reddick to maybe get past here, as I was deciding we're just going to drop in behind Tyler and try to pass that 41. There's a little bit of contact there between between myself and Cole Custer, and he actually gets a little bit sideways, may have hit the wall there, but thankfully he did not just completely lose control like some of the other drivers. We would continue the side-by-side battle here with Cole Custer as we came through now to lap 7 of stage 2. As you can see, he gets such a better run on the outside lane as we dive down into turn 3. I decided I had enough. We're going to try and slide job him, and we make it work and take over P4, then immediately put the attack back to Tyler Reddick, who passed us earlier with 18 now laps to go in stage 2. We get to the outside of him, and out of turns 2, we're going to have another run, and hopefully we can clear him on the exit of turn 4. But then, sure enough, we come through now to lap 12 down into turns 1, and we finally would be able to clear Tyler Reddick. Of course, he battles back on the inside trying to make it work, but he just didn't quite have that speed to contend with us at this point in stage 2. We were very fast. The car felt great at this point, and we come through past the halfway point now in the stage, and lap traffic was starting to become a bit of a factor, and that allows me to run Denny Hamlin down, our teammate, and we would just be able to get by him without a problem. But then Ryan Preece is going to decide to plant his car right in my path, so we now have to hold up a little bit now. As we're side by side with Hamlin, I get sideways though and give that spot back up to Hamlin, but then he decides, you know what, I'm just going to go run behind Preece, who's way slower, and give the door open, or leave the door open for Gary here, who is going to go right on by and pass Hamlin, and we would run down the leader of Keselowski, who was stuck in this huge group of lap traffic, which was very surprising to see Chase Elliott, Martin Truex Jr. all in the mix as well. So we came through passing all of those guys, and with 4 laps to go, I get an opportunity to now move up to the top and maybe just kind of take this line around Keselowski for the lead. Tyler Reddick in the mix for the lead, as well as Denny Hamlin. He's in the mix too, as we're going to, though, be able to pass Brad Keselowski for the lead here in Bristol now with less than 5 laps to go in stage 2, 3 to be exact. Keselowski, he jumps up to the outside immediately after seeing me drive right on by, and we now are, though, going to be able to drive away with a potential stage victory. We come through to start the final lap now in stage 2 to the outside of the 17 of Chris Buescher on the exit of turn 2. We're going to blow right on by him. We're a little bit sideways and nearly making contact with the Roush Fenway Racing driver as we come through 3 and 4 for the final time, and out of turns 4, we're going to come through to win the second stage here in Bristol Motor Speedway in the Food City 500. So I think that is our first stage victory of the season, if I'm not mistaken. We won a race before we were able to win a stage, but there it is. Nice to pick up another playoff point for us, and hopefully we can seal the deal here today with a race victory in Bristol. As of course, we're going to come to the pit lane and get 2 cans of fuel as well as 4 tires. Oh, this is our race, boys. There's no way we're blowing this one away. There you hear once again on the radio a little bit maybe of some overconfidence from myself going into this third and final stage. Kyle Busch, who actually won stage 1, finds himself down in the 21st position, surprisingly now, as we're going to get ready to go green for stage 3. David Reagan now up inside the top 10 after gaining 7 positions on the pit lane now, as the green flag is back out, and we lead the way to the start of the third and final stage, and we completely destroy Keselowski and Hamlin and everybody else on that restart somehow now, as I'm not sure exactly why I destroyed them like that, but of course works out in our favor greatly as we lead the way down into turn 3 and 4 on this opening lap of stage 3. Keselowski already, though, to my back bumper as we come through, leading the lap. Very nice to get as many laps led as we can. Now, that's always a stat that I look at. What can we build to? You know, I would love to lead a whole lot of laps in this career mode now as we dive down into turns 3. Keselowski now putting on the pressure as we exit the corner, but not quite enough yet, as I nearly get into the outside wall there. 67 laps down and 59 remain as I tag the outside wall, but we're going to be able to keep the momentum going and hold on to the lead after that little mistake now as we come through to lap 69. Nice. It's always nice to lead the 69th lap in the 69th episode of the career mode here as we go down this backstretch, and I just realized it is, yes, indeed, episode 69, but Erik Jones in the 88, he would be able to get past Brad Keselowski and actually put the fight to me. We come through on lap 72, and Jones putting a lot of pressure on myself, gets to my inside here down this backstretch into turn 3, and I'm realizing very quickly that we are maybe under a little bit of pressure from the 88 now of Erik Jones, who's looking for his first win in that 88 car for Hendrick Motorsports as he made the switch this season. His position in that 88 car not very safe, I should say, now in this career mode, as you might want to stay tuned on that now as we come through, continuing to battle with Erik Jones as we exit turns 4. I'm not going to give up the lead easily, but we come through to 52 to go. He leads the lap, but I'm doing my best to be able to put that fight to that Hendrick Motorsports driver, but unfortunately we give up the lead, but we come through to 47 to go. You can now see lap traffic kind of up in the mix in front of us, and I'm continuing to just try my best to stick with Erik, and sure enough, lap traffic comes into our favor until we get to the back of Brendan Gaughan, who's kind of in my way. I get to the outside wall there, and now Jones opens up the gap between himself and I as we're continuing to close in on that huge group of cars up ahead, which I can see Kyle Larson at the very back of, who was running up inside the top 10 earlier in the second stage. Now as we come through the center of turns 1 and 2, passing the 13 of Ty Dillon, very close quarters there as I once again also gone to the outside wall, but there you see now Jones stuck right behind the 43 of Kyle Larson, so I decide I'm going to get right to the back of the 88 and maybe get a little bit aggressive here and try to go around the outside 3 wide for the lead here in Bristol Motor Speedway on Erik Jones, as we're going to continue to actually pass him and clear him into turns 3 now as we go right around the outside of Kyle Larson and get to the outside as well as the 38 of John Hunter. And you may check, and now we have a bunch of cars built between myself and Erik Jones, and we would drive away. We come through to lap 89. I had now put my teammate Martin Truex Jr. a lap down. We had a few run-ins earlier with him in this race back in stage 1, but now 36 laps to go, and we find ourselves in front. Now on lap 90, we actually get loose out of turns 2, hitting the inside wall, but we get some damage on the left side, but very fortunate for myself. We are able to keep the car going in the right direction, but then the caution comes out here in Bristol now with 35 laps to go. Everybody coming to the pit lane, and now we are going to come in and fix the damage that we just caused. First of all, I could not find what brought out the caution there, unfortunately, but like I said, we're going to come in, fix the car, put 4 tires on it as well as fuel. I was debating between 2 tires and 4 tires. I ultimately decided to go with 4 tires here for this pit stop. And of course, I was a little bit concerned that that might be the wrong call and put us maybe back in like the 10th position, but I've taken 2 tires before here, and that's costed us as well, and 4 tires was the right call to make. A lot of shake up there on the pit lane, so maybe some drivers did take 2 tires or something now, as though we're going to lead the field back to the green flag, which is now once again out. Myself and Erik Jones side by side, a lot more even of a restart compared to that opening restart to start stage 3 with Brad Keselowski joining us on that front row, as Erik's actually going to have the momentum down the back straightaway into turn 3. He might be able to clear us out of turns 4. Keselowski even trying to look to my outside as Erik Jones to the lead after giving up that 20 car to myself. He ended up in that 73 car last season in the career mode, replacing Bobby Carter, and now here he is with an opportunity once again this season to get back into a top car of Hendrick Motorsports in that 88, replacing Alex Bowman, who went of course to fill in for Jimmy Johnson, and now here he is leading in Bristol, making the most of his opportunity. A second chance for Erik Jones in the Cup Series, and he's making the most of it, but the caution would come out with 25 laps to go. You did see Jones had opened up the gap between himself and I, and now this is going to force a late race restart with approximately 20 laps to go here in the Food City 500. David Reagan currently the last car on the lead lap, or last driver on the lead lap now, is Joey Logano and Ryan Preece are the 2 drivers currently to DNF from this race now, as we're going to get ready to go green for what could be the final restart here in the Food City 500. Erik Jones looking for his first win in his new team, and I'm looking for win number 2 and win number 4 of my Cup Series career, and win number 2 of the season, I should say. Now as we're side by side into turn 1, I try to pinch him down the best I can, but he does a great job of clearing us out of turns 2, and we make a little bit of contact there with the outside wall down the backstretch into turn 3. Tyler Reddick there in P3, Cole Custer 4th, so myself and Reddick and Custer 2nd, 3rd, 4th, all rookies last season here in the career mode, and here we are fighting for a potential victory now, but I think it's definitely going to be between myself and Jones, and that would sure enough show itself with 17 laps to go. Myself and Jones running away now at this point now as we come through out of turns 2. Jones clear, but we clearly are putting the fight to him. The longer the tires wear, it works into my favor so much, because now we put the fight right to the outside of the 88, but again to the outside wall, so we have to run him back down, which would not be too tough of a task. We come to lap 113. I get once again to the back of Erik Jones as we exit turns 4, right there to that right rear now side by side, and even into turns 1 we make some contact with Erik Jones there as we come through out of turn 2. He goes sideways right in front of us. We nearly run into the back of him now as he's going to be able to hang on to it and slides again into turn 3. What a battle between myself and Erik Jones as we're still side by side for the lead after a huge save. You see how committed he is to potentially winning this race for Hendrick Motorsports in that 88 car, as we're going to still be side by side, and we would continue this battle on to lap 117 down the back straightaway into turn 3, and finally we clear Erik Jones with less than 10 laps to go in this race. What a battle we had earlier with him, and then it continued onto that restart, but now we would start to open up the gap as we had run down lap traffic. Jones, his car was fading very quickly as he and Hamlin would start to scrap it out for that second position now. As what a battle, though, it was with Erik Jones to decide who was going to be able to ultimately win this race and run away with the lead. As we come through the 3 laps to go, there you see the traffic not too bad for me, so I was very confident that we were going to be able to hang on and just hopefully we don't run into any situations here. No cautions was the main goal now as we come through out of turns 4, approaching just 2 laps to go here in Bristol Motor Speedway, right to the back of Quinn Helf, who's in the way as usual. We give him a bit of a bump now, as I'm saying, just get going, dude. He gets sideways there, he saves it, then I get to the inside of him as we dive down into turn 3. He makes another save through the center of the corner, but Hamlin too far back to do anything now. Just get to the line, we do that, and the white flag is in the air here in the Food City 500 at Bristol Motor Speedway as we come through out of turns 2 for the final time here in Bristol, diving down into turn 3. 1 win on the season at Atlanta, 3 wins in our career will now be 4 as we win for the second time this season at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Go get the checker flag. It's yours.
Certainly an awesome sight to get win number 4 of our career at Bristol. Our second win at Bristol, of course, because we won this race last time out in the playoffs. But like I said, very happy to pull off this victory. Hopefully you guys are happy. I drove really hard to get that one, and we managed to make it happen. So it's certainly a satisfying feeling when we can come to Bristol. We know we're going to be strong at this track, and we prove that every single time from all the way back in the NASCAR Heat 3 career mode to now. Certainly would like to see the AI difficulty stepped up maybe here in the future NASCAR games, as it definitely are too easy. I just run a preset setup here, and that's all it takes to just go and win a race. So very happy with that, though. Here on the Food City 500, there as you see the finishing order on your screen. Matt DiBenedetto rounds out the top 10. Alex Bowman, 6th place. Kyle Busch rebounded to 7th place, but he never did actually get back up to the front after those pit stop issues going into stage 2. Bubba Wallace with a 26th place finish. Some of the Hendrick guys did struggle, other than Erik Jones and Alex Bowman, of course. Now, as we're though going to see, you saw Logano down in last place. Very unfortunate for him. He is not locked in the playoffs yet. Not great in the points. He sits P12, so that's interesting. But now we are going to do a post-race interview here with Jay Cook.
Another win on the season, Gary, putting you at 2 already. Did you expect to be in position to win today?
Honestly, Jay, I definitely did. We had such a good car here last time at Bristol, and we pretty much just brought the same thing from there right to here in the next time we came to this track, and it worked out beautifully for us. Very happy to pick up the victory for the team. Obviously, I'm not returning to Joe Gibbs Racing next season, which is a little bit unfortunate, but I can tell you that my options are looking pretty good for next season, and this only helps it with getting our second win of the season already. It took me all the way to Indianapolis last season to even pick up a victory, so really cool to get that win. And yeah, hopefully this will set the tone for what I think the next race, which is Richmond for us. So hopefully we can go there and have a strong run. All right, there you heard the post-race interview between myself as well as Jay Cook. As always, if you guys did enjoy this episode, you do know what to do. We're going to check out the point standings before we end it there. As don't forget, you can pick up some Reese's potato salad there, as it says on the quarter panel. Now, as in the next episode, no Xfinity race, but we do have a truck race for number 6 and number 9 for the Cup race, 69. Nice. But yeah, so we'll be going to Richmond in the truck series. I hated that race back when we did that earlier in the career mode as myself as a driver, not an owner. Hopefully we can have a better performance here in the truck and at Richmond with the subscribers in the truck. But like I said, we'll check out the point standings. There was no truck race in this episode, so we don't really need to worry about the truck standings. The same, of course, as the previous episode of the career mode. So the Xfinity series had a little bit of a shakeup recently with Todd Gilliland getting his first career win in the Xfinity series, whatever race was in the last episode. There, as you see, we are currently P5 in the driver standings for the star car for Joe Gibbs Racing. But now Daniel Hamrick, currently the last driver in the playoffs, as we're going to check the Cup Series standings. Myself and Hamlin tied for the top there, as we both have 2 wins, and there you see the rest of the order. Elliott down in P12, but William Byron currently the last driver in. Larson, Briscoe, Newman, Busher, and Burton the first 5 out. So it's going to get interesting here in the next one at Richmond. Thank you for watching, everybody, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day.